Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Just let everybody settle in for a moment and welcome to our webinar with the U.S. Africa Collaborative. We'll get started in just a minute or shortly thereunder. All right, looks like the number of participants is starting to stabilize here, so let's make it go. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. My name is Jeff Dumanwar. I chair the subcommittee for exchanges and partnerships for NAHRO's International Research and Global Exchanges Committee, and I'm joined by Jim Evans. We work on that subcommittee together, and we're pleased to introduce today an opportunity for our NAHRO membership to travel to South Africa and to visit and participate in the U.S. Africa Collaboratives conference that's upcoming this June. I'd like to introduce the chair of the International Research and Global Exchanges Committee and NAHRO's VP of International, Lisa Baker. She'll take us through the rest of it.
Thank you, Jeff, and hello, everyone. Morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on what time zone you happen to be in. We're happy to have you with us. As Jeff said, I am the chair of IRGE for this term. He is also too modest as he was the chair for last term. And we're super excited about this opportunity. We've been working on it with the U.S. Africa Collaborative and excited to have this very exciting opportunity that Liz Glenn is going to tell us more about. And for those of you who don't know the inimitable Liz Glenn, she is heading up the U.S. Africa Collaborative, but she is also a longtime NAHRO member. She's an awardee as well for NAHRO, and definitely an honored member of NAHRO Nation. And with that, I'm just going to turn it over to Liz and let you guys get started to hear about this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, team. Thank you, NAHRO family, for having me today. I'm very honored to be with my NAHRO family. In so many ways, you have helped shape the career person that I am and have also helped, in some ways, birth the U.S. Africa Collaborative through colleagues met over the years with the International Committee. Some of you may know a little bit about the U.S. Africa Collaborative. Let me just kind of let you know that, first of all, we have rebranded ourselves as a brain trust for human-centered innovation and impact. We're a global network of leaders designing people-centered solutions across Africa, the U.S., the diaspora, and beyond. It sounds like a very ambitious vision, but we are on our way there. We're still a relatively new organization. We are hosting our fourth Pan-African City Symposium and Exposition under the auspices of Smart Futures. We're going to be hosted by the Nelson Mandela University, an organization of prestige named for definitely a national hero and a world hero of equity, justice, and freedom, Madiba Nelson Mandela himself. The Pan-African City Symposium and Exposition, we consider it to be a premier global platform that connects decision makers, innovators, investors, and community leaders committed to advancing regenerative, equitable, and future-ready development. We've talked about sustainability in the past. We continue to talk about sustainability, but we have moved beyond sustainability to regeneration. Knowing that sustainability keeps us a status quo, regeneration builds upon sustainability so that our futures are not just sustainable, but regenerative. The Pan-African City Symposium and Exposition enables our partners to exchange ideas, form strategic alliances, and showcase impactful solutions across housing, human settlements, climate resilience, and economic development. We are very fortunate that we have been able to bring into our arena innovators, government officials, nonprofits, business leaders, students, retired persons, academics, and a multidisciplined and multi-sector array of people and experts who are innovators in their own right. We are going to be traveling to South Africa, which technically is the birthplace of the first Pan-African City Symposium and Exposition, which was held the last week of June in 2022. And you will see that we're at the star. This is where, to give some perspective, where are going to be located in South Africa. You will note that that's Port Elizabeth. It's one of the deep water ports in South Africa. There's a number of other ports, including Durban, which is the largest shipping container port in sub-Saharan Africa. But you will also notice that while we're down here at the southern end, we're just a hop, skip, and a jump away from Cape Town, which tends to be a big tourist favorite for many. So one of the things that'll be great about coming to Port Elizabeth, or as it is now known, Kaperaha, is that you have just a quick flight to get to Cape Town. It's just a few minutes. I mean, it's maybe 35, 40 minutes. And local flight is very cheap. But as you can see, it's located very nicely right off the Indian Ocean, just before the confluence of the South Atlantic Ocean, which means it's windy with beautiful beaches and some of the most spectacular views you're going to ever want to see in the Eastern Cape. So this year's Pan-African City Symposium and Exposition, we keep building on this thing. And so we've gotten over ambitious this year. We've decided that we have so much content to share that we have to do it over 8 days because there's just so much to see and do. And so one of the things that's going to happen on the first day of our conference is we're going to officially and formally launch the Institute of Human Settlement Practitioners in South Africa, which is under MOU with the National Association of Housing and Redevelopment Officials. And former President George Guy signed an MOU with the principals of international the IHSP in 2024. We will be hosting during the course of the week our Women's Leadership Forum. We will have daily plenary sessions with keynote addresses. And of course, we're going to have concurrent sessions. I think right now we're running about 5 to 7 different tracks. We'll also be hosting an African Diaspora Forum that will have a focus on reunification and reconciliation so that we can begin to bring African Americans and Africans and folks throughout the African diaspora together in both healing and preparing for what we call the smart future. We will be featuring an eco art installation, so we have a call for artists that are out, and we are looking forward to having some local art made of repurposed and recycled materials. And we're going to kick off our first day of the symposium with a Khoisan purification ceremony that will, I apologize for the phone, a purification ceremony that is going to be blessing us all with purification. We will also be graced by some amazing entertainment that's going to come out of Fourth Citizen, as well as local artisans and entertainers. You can't come to South Africa without experiencing some of its beauty and some of that it has to offer, including an animal preserve. So we are going to be visiting and experiencing, as they call it, the Big Five, but we're going to be fortunate enough to be able to experience the Big Seven, which will also include whales and sharks. We're going to be treated to African feasts, including a traditional braai, which, folks talk about they're going to go to a barbecue or a cookout. You've not seen anything until you see meat stewed on a spit and prepared for our taste with the most fantastic array of food. I will tell you that the food in South Africa is among the best in the world, from seafood to domestic livestock to some of the most spectacular fruits and vegetables. And Eastern Cape is known for its citrus. And so we are going to be treated to something quite spectacular. Over here on my right is a true links golf course. In fact, one of the best links golf courses in the world. It's going to have views of the Indian Ocean. And I do believe that anywhere on this golf course that you sit, you'll be able to see views of the Indian Ocean. So it's one of the best golf courses in the world. We're also going to be privileged to visit the Sarah Baartman South African Heritage Resources area. Sarah Baartman, if you know your world history, you might have known that when explorers came to the South Africa years ago, they were enchanted by the people, the bush people, the Hottentots, as they were called. And it was a derogatory term because the reason they called them Hottentots was because when they were dancing, they were Hottentot. But one of those people, Miss Sarah Baartman, who became known as the Black Venus, was a woman who was paraded throughout Europe as a circus act. They paraded her around nude and quite abusive. But the beauty of this story is that after so many years, her remains have been returned to her ancestral homeland. So we will be in the homeland of the Khoisan of the Gamtoos River. And so they will be doing the purification ceremony, and we will also have an opportunity to visit this very important heritage site. And of course, we're going to have music. We're going to have music throughout the week, throughout the 8 days of this conference. Lots of entertainment, lots of art, lots of food, lots of dancing, but a lot of fun and a lot of heritage. We're going to have some development site tours, which we're going to have the last 2 days of this 8-day extravaganza. We're going to visit Crossways Village, which is a smart village that's being built. Phase 1 is nearly 70% complete. It has 5 phases, which includes residential, commercial, industrial, agricultural, and even its own airport to deliver citrus. I'm showing you a little bit of the citrus industry here, which is pretty big, and they will be shipping citrus all over the world, or they do ship all over the world. What's also little known is that there is a robust automobile manufacturing industry in the Eastern Cape. And so we will have an opportunity to go visit an automotive manufacturing plant. Port Elizabeth itself, Gqeberha, is rich in history, and so we'll get to see some beautiful architecture juxtapositioned next to some quite beautiful contemporary architecture as well. We'll also be near the famous Nelson Mandela Bay, and we'll also be able to go to Kulha municipality, which includes the wonderful I apologize for that. Do you hear the phone ringing? Thank goodness. Thank goodness for a good computer. So Nelson Mandela Bay is a wonderful place that also has a fantastic flea market, sales market. Crossways Village also has a fabulous marketplace where we will be able to experience that as well. We are working with Grow South Africa, which is an organization that partners with the business community throughout Africa and South Africa. They are going to be helping us to show you some parts of South Africa that most tourists never get to see, including looking at the experience of the economic engine of the Eastern Cape through some curated industrial, agricultural, and sustainability tours. Delegates may explore advanced manufacturing and automotive environments, export agriculture linked to their deep water ports, which they have two, and some smart rural developments. You'll also be able to, as I said, experience some safari and wildlife experiences. And there will be lots of storytelling and heritage immersion experiences. We also recognize that you'll be bringing partners and family and spouses with you. We want to make sure that they also get a chance to enjoy all that South Africa has to bear, has to offer while you sit in a seat listening to all these amazing presentations. And I tell you, they are amazing. We're also going to have signature evening experiences at the conference, including some traditional African feasts. We'll have live music. And we will also probably have some other opportunities for flexible extensions and customizations that you might be interested in beyond the conference itself. While we're going to keep you busy, South Africa is a country that's rich in beautiful places. And it would be a waste for you to come this far and not be able to see all that it has to offer, from Cape Town to Johannesburg to Durban to Pretoria, to East London. There are some wonderful, beautiful places. Stellenbosch, with its wine country, is a not miss, and you will have the opportunity to take advantage of wine country tours. So as you can see, we have a lot here to offer, between sustainability and safari. We have even an executive safari and incentive retreat if you're interested in something like that, with exclusive lodge accommodation and private reserves. We'll have the Coastal and Garden Route Discovery, which will take you along the Southern Cape coastline, where you'll run into the confluence of the Atlantic and the Indian Ocean. We're going to have a torch-lit spit braai celebration, where either whole lamb or beef is going to be prepared over open flame, complete with dramatic lighting and African performance. And all of these packages are flexible and can be refined and based on your own custom events, whatever you would like to do. So we are working with both Grow Africa and the Sylvia Travels. The Sylvia Travels is headed up by Dr. Audia Robinson. Some of you have met her. She has worked with Fred Bedwellis on wealth and wealth equity gap. She's also a specialist in wealth generation, but she has her own travel company, and she has put together some travel packages. Those packages range from 10 nights to 13 nights. And they of course, can be extended based on your bank account and your desire to see all that is available to see. One of the things I think that's important to note is that Nelson Mandela University is located very close to Port Elizabeth Airport. It's a quick ride. We will have shuttles and transportation and a welcoming committee at the airport for our delegates. And De Silvia's package includes daily transfers back and forth to the university so that transportation can be provided. The hotel accommodation, right now, I think they're looking at Radisson Blu. And you must know that Radisson Blu is located on Maritime Drive, which is just right off the Indian Ocean. It is the drive that runs along the Indian Ocean. It is a spectacular boulevard, with spectacular. Listen, believe me, the sunrises there are just phenomenal. Um, so there's pre-conference extensions, there's pre-conference, post-conference extensions, and we can work with you to help you book your airfare and all of that. So if you're interested in working with a travel agency, we can surely make sure you can have access to that information. Some of NAHRO's travelers I know are experienced and have their own booking agents, but if you want some help and you want a curated package, please do feel free to reach out. We'll make sure this information is available to you and that you will be able to ask questions and create your own custom experience. So right now, this is what the conference template looks like. So as I said earlier, we're going to launch the Institute of Human Settlement Practitioners on the first day, and we will have a welcome reception. Each morning, we will have daily plenaries. We will have morning concurrent sessions. And then on June 27th, we will have our Women's Leadership Forum and luncheon. We will also be hosting the International Design Awards luncheon, which will include the Homegrown Habitat competition. We have a number of folks that have submitted these amazing designs based on the local soul, where you come from. So there's no cookie cutter approaches to developing human settlements, and so we're asking for their most creative approaches to creating the homegrown habitat. On June 26th, we'll have lunch and we'll have research prize awards. Right now, we have 127 submissions. They represent submissions from 36 countries. I'm sorry, 36 universities. I wish 36 countries. 36 universities, including universities from Brazil, Barbados, Paris, Ethiopia, Uganda, Nigeria, Zambia, and of course, South Africa. We will also focus on June 27th, we'll have our Women's Leadership Forum, which is a phenomenal event. That will also be a curated discussion and with keynote speakers. That afternoon, we'll have our African Diaspora Forum. That evening, we will host our big gala, which we will be presenting 4 important awards, which include the Nelson Mandela Madiba Award, the Elijah Cummings Excellence in Housing Award, the President Ellen Sirleaf Johnson Award for Sustainability. For those who don't know, President Ellen Sirleaf Johnson was the president of Liberia and the first woman elected as president on the continent of Africa. And then our 4th award is the Yes We Can Award for collaboration. You might recognize the term, but we believe strongly in these awards, and we are looking forward to presenting some excellent people. As you can see, it's a busy week. And believe me, we have more than enough content and activities to be able to fill this week and make it a very meaningful experience. You will leave this experience with both a sense of wonder, an insight into innovative practices and theory and research, but also how people are getting it done. I'm very excited for you to be able to visit the Crossways Farm Village, Smart Village, because when we tend to think about smart cities, and smart villages, we tend to think about urban environments. You know, NAHRO has a lot of public housing authorities that are in small towns. And to see what can be done in a rural area and how you can create a circular economy while also being respectful to the indigenous people, as well as bringing in economic vitality, it will be quite an experience to see. We are also pleased to announce that we have just launched our new website. Registration opens. I'm going to actually take you to that website in a minute, but I wanted to kind of get through this presentation just to let you know kind of what to expect. And I think, obviously, I'm very pleased and happy that NAHRO members are interested in coming. I know that we've talked about it for the past few years as potentially coming to South Africa for a visit. This will be more than a visit. This will be an experience. And what I'd like to do is share with you just quickly our new website, because it really shares more information about the U.S.-Africa Collaborative and where we're going as an organization. One of the things that I think it's important to note is that as we talk about being a brain trust for human-centered innovation and impact, we're not just talking about being a brain trust. We're also talking about being a developer. So we've created, through our work, the Center of Excellence for Sustainable Smart Villages and Human Settlements. This will be our research arm as well as our development arm. And we will be engaged in developing smart villages and smart communities in South Africa and beyond. And we are excited about this, excited to partner with experienced folks, including some of our own NAHRO members who are willing to take on the adventure of exploring the next chapter in their career, their housing career. Of course, our flagship is our symposium, but we also, and some of you may know this, but we have monthly knowledge transfer meetings. It's a virtual forum for dialogue and learning. We usually have experts come in and do presentations to share insights and case studies and emerging practices throughout the year. Tomorrow, we are welcoming Dr. Gloria Ekpo, who also happens to be on our board. She's a medical doctor and she holds an MPH, but she will be talking about the recent agreements that have been signed by the U.S. State Department with some 17 countries in the African diaspora, looking at health access and health studies. We are very interested in hearing what Dr. Gloria is going to bring to us, because she's also going to be opening up the opportunity for collaboration around these new initiatives. Again, I can't help but talk about the Women's Leadership Forum. This is an exciting opportunity for us to convene women leaders across housing, infrastructure, finance, governance, and social innovation that's centered on mentorship, visibility, safety, and economic empowerment. We also have under our belt the Global Classroom. The Global Classroom has been a partnership between the University of Maryland College Park's School of Real Estate Development and the Nelson Mandela University's School of Built Environment. This educational initiative has fostered cross-continental learning through lectures, dialogue, student engagement, and applied research connecting the universities and communities worldwide. Because while they are the two hosts, they have also made these classrooms available to other universities, and it's free. It's absolutely free. One of our new initiatives is the Women Exchange. This is a curated global directory highlighting women-led enterprises, professionals, and organizations that are designed to promote collaboration, visibility, and opportunity across sectors. I see it as a natural partner with the women of NAHRO, being able to expand that reach globally. We have a number of partners. You can see them scrolling across. But I do want to quickly tell you a little bit about my board because I'm extremely proud of who they are. We have an international board consisting of members from both the US and South Africa, but also from Uganda, from Nigeria, from Kenya, and from the United Arab Emirates. As you can see, we have founding members, including Odette Anderson. She's head of legal services for the Department of Human Settlements in KwaZulu-Natal. She's also an attorney that worked on the BRICS agreement. If you're familiar with BRICS, you will know that this is an organization that is growing. They are looking at trading in local currencies. Mr. Brendan Boyce, also a founding member, who is a lecturer at the University of Fort Hare. Fort Hare is known for the fact that it educated Desmond Tutu and Nelson Mandela and a number of other African presidents. Ms. Karishma Booskith is new to our board. She's with the Housing Development Agency for the Republic of South Africa, and her department is responsible for driving development in South Africa and land disposition and building disposition. Mr. Robert DeShiel is a labor attorney, well regarded in Baltimore, Maryland. And we just launched the website, so we have a few little things that we have to pick up. But there's Dr. Gloria Ekpo, there's myself, our own Irma Gorm, who has been with us from the beginning, and was clearly part of the articulating the vision for the U.S.-Africa Collaborative. Dr. Rajaid Barry James, who's the Senior Associate Dean of Faculty and Academic Affairs at Virginia Commonwealth University. Our own Ramsey J. from NAHRO, who was the former CEO of the Sao Paulo Housing Authority. Professor Coleman Jordan, also a founding member, is at the School of Architecture and Planning at Morgan State University. My vice chair and the first host of the first Pan-African City Symposium and Exposition. And I should also tell you, he's a culture consultant for the Black Panther series, Dr. Ernest Nini Kalema. Ms. Rebatili Malakala, she is in the United Arab Emirates, and she is a professional in communication and business consulting. Ms. Lillian Maleke. Lillian is from the Real Estate Institute of East Africa in Uganda. Dr. Mabangi Muviana, some of you who might have met her when she was in Phoenix last year for the national conference. Dr. Jonathan Oladeji, who's with the University of Johannesburg. He's originally from Nigeria. Dr. Sherry Parks, who's with the University of Maryland. She's emerita from University of Maryland, but she's also a community strategist, an expert in engagement, quite brilliant. I first met her. She was the vice president of strategic initiatives at the Maryland Institute College of Art. Mr. Karsten Popp, a tennis pro, former executive for Autodesk, who is now the founder and CEO of Elima Digital Foundry, who is testing an AI-driven construction platform. Dr. Byron Price, who is the CEO of Global Ties Alliance, but he's also affiliated with the African Union, representing the 6th District of the African Diaspora. We also have Mr. Stacy Spann, and I know a number of you know him. He's been an active NAHRO member for years. He's the principal for Greenwood Archer Capital. Dr. Andrew Wambua, who is with the Cape Peninsula University of Technology. Mr. Stephen Wanhala, who's a housing and development finance consultant out of Kenya. Mr. Brian Wasserman. Dr. Wasserman, should be Dr. Wasserman, is head of the Construction and Building Management Program at Minnesota State University at Mankato. Dr. Gia Grant Rutledge, formerly a health scientist with the CDC, is now head of the Kingdom Collective, where she is working with a group of kingdoms on the continent to direct investment into human-centered communities. Mrs. Maria Day Marshall Esquire, who's the director of the Colvin Institute of Real Estate Development School of the Real Estate Development School of Architecture, Planning, and Preservation at University of Maryland. Dr. Sanelli Mbambo, who's with the University of the Free State, a brilliant lecturer, young, youthful, and as he pridefully says, he's the youngest member of our board of directors. He's in his early 20s. And we believe that it's important that we have intergenerational expertise because we're building for the future, not the past. And so we have deliberately invited young people to work alongside seasoned professionals. And last but not least, Ms. Regina Mitchell, who's the CEO of the York Housing Authority, and she also does some work, I believe, with Quadell, and she is also one of your outstanding women of NAHRO. I could go on and take you through the website, but I'm going to encourage you to visit it yourself. There's a lot of information there. I should have shown you the Knowledge Hub, where we are really focusing on putting our research center materials up on the web, as well as we're starting a speakers bureau, which will then deploy some of this expertise out to other organizations, governments, businesses, so that we have a whole array of subject matter that we have expertise in that we are willing to share with the world. And so I'm going to encourage you to take a look at our website. I'm happy to put it in the chat, which I'll do right now. And I hope that you will visit us and feel free to reach out to me with any questions whatsoever. Now, I know I just gave you a lot of information, but I hope that you do have some questions for me. Well, I'm not sure if you can see that.
I think, Liz, you need to put the drop down to everyone and repaste that.
I'm going to have to do that.
We'll liaise with Gabriel and Stephen from NAHRO staff to make sure we get everybody that's registered and send them out the links to your website, to DeSilvia Travel, to all of the pertinent pieces. And I believe this is a recorded session, so I'm hoping we can make it available for those that couldn't join today.
I think right now I can only, in that drop down, it's only giving me the hosts and the panelists.
Okay.
But Jeff, if you will, copy and paste it to the general chat so that people can have access to it.
Yeah, I think we'll need technical help for that, but we'll definitely get it sent out to everybody that's registered in an email and make sure they get the links.
I just put in the chat for everyone.
Oh, thank you, Gabriel.
And all of these materials, including this presentation, the information about DeSilvia Travels, the curated experiences through Grow South Africa, I will provide all of them to you so that you can share. And for those who want to see me again, I'm going to come by the International Research and Global Exchange meeting on Sunday. And so I will be available for more questions. So there you are. Any questions?
So just scrolling through the chat, there was a few requests to send out the information, which we'll definitely do by email. And make sure I didn't miss anybody here. That seems to be the gist of it.
Well, that's just great. I'm glad to see so many people that have joined us. Taking a look at the participants here. There are just maybe a few familiar names for me, so that's actually a good thing. I see a lot of new people. I do see my friend Don Bibb, who is my brother from another mother, and also a great travel partner. But as you can tell, we are very excited about the experience that we're going to be offering in South Africa. And I'll tell you quite truthfully, given the current political climate, and I shouldn't say this, but I am, given the current political climate, which makes it very difficult for people from other countries to travel to this country, we will probably hold our Pan-African City Symposium and Exposition outside of the U.S. We actually have an invitation on the table right now to go to Turkey. So that's something that we are considering We've also had an invitation to potentially go to Egypt, but we shall see what the future holds for us as we seriously look at our smart futures that are ahead. So I can answer any questions or anything else. Like I said, I'll try to make sure I provide all the information that I think will be helpful to people who are interested in travel.
Amazing opportunity. Ooh, I think we just lost Lisa.
Yes, Lisa said
Nope.
she had to leave
Nope.
at the 30.
Yep. Perfect. Well, thank you
Yep.
so much for sharing, and hopefully we can get a great contingent of NAHRO representatives from our membership to join you.
I hope so. I would love to welcome my NAHRO family in South Africa and share with you all that there is about the country, but importantly to share this amazing work that's being done and in preparation for your visit. We understand that there's going to be a large group of people. So one of the things we want to encourage people to do while there's an early bird special to register early. But NAHRO is considered to be a U.S. Africa Collaborative member, so you'll always get the membership price. Your spouses will be able to travel with you for, I think, a $75 fee. And if you're a retired professional, you can also get that $75 fee as well. But the registration for a week-long event such as this is just $300 for members, which is probably the cheapest 8-day conference you'll ever attend in your entire life.
I would think so. Yep. Great value.
Yeah. So I look forward to seeing some of you on Sunday. And if anybody has any questions, Jeff, feel free to pop my email in the chat as well.
Yeah, I think I'm restricted as well, so we'll need Gabriel to do that. We'll also make sure that it's sent out in the email to everybody that registered as well.
All right. Well, I'll be sending something out to you shortly that you'll be able to share with everyone.
Perfect. Well, thank you so very much.
You're welcome. It's my privilege. A pleasure.
Thank you, Liz. Thank you, everybody, for joining.